And away we go. Day 3 of the Grow Your Group Challenge. Last day. Oh my gosh. All right. It's good to see everybody. Thank you all for being here. I want you to think about something. I want you to think about your group as, the glowing embers, like after a fire or before a fire. It's just starting to grow, or it's just going out, or it's just fading. Sometimes I know we can feel like that's how our group feels. Like, it's just like, I see the potential. Oh, see, I got Otis all fired up. No, baby. He wanted to be on camera. I took the camera away from him, and now he's disappointed, and he's showing his disappointment. Get up here. Come on. Anyway, so you got embers in your group. You're feeling like, I know there's potential here. Like, I know it can be great, but I cannot get it. I'm going to use the word ignited, and that's not, I wasn't even trying to be funny about that. It's about growing it to this point where it is a freaking bonfire that is lighting up everything going on in your business. And I want to make sure that you know that you can and will get it there. I have no doubt. Okay. But today's focus, we're going to start to look for that fuel, if you will, outside of our spaces. So we're talking about all the other places. Day 1, we focused on some foundation stuff. Yesterday was all about within your group and how you get your group to help you drive those things. Now we're going to talk about some of these other things. Before we jump into that, I want to just check in on you on day 2. So homework from day 2 was to invite some friends or do a post in your group. I'm very excited about some of the results that some of you got already. Like, I'm super proud of you. That definitely deserves some applause. And then to consider whether or not a challenge or some sort of big event is the right step for you. That was the bonus challenge. You didn't have to have it figured out. You just considered it. So how did you do with these 2 things? I'm going to go to the comments here in a second. Was this valuable? Did you get some results? Are you excited about where you're going? Drop some comments and let's see how y'all got on with day 2. So let me go through some of these. Oh, I love seeing all these faces. Or I guess they're not faces. Well, they're kind of faces. It's a little face in my comments. I know some of you are like, I've spent more time with Jamie this week than ever before. Woo! It's a good thing though, right? I hope it's a good thing. Okay. Yes, done. Excited. We will get there. Oh, love seeing all of that energy. That's awesome. And I feed off your energy. So those of you, I will say this, I'll do just a very, very quick tangent. Those of you that are clients of mine, whether you're in my programs or in my membership, I reached out and shared some vulnerable stuff this morning. I'm having a pretty rough week. My husband's having some troubles with his health, and we got some really rough news, and it's kind of really thrown us off. So I am definitely off my game, and it happens. And so if anybody out there is like, why hasn't she gotten me this? Or why hasn't she commented on this? If that's what's going on, I promise you I will get to it. I'm doing the best that I can. And I think so many of us as entrepreneurs, you are trying to balance so many balls up in the air all at the same time. And it's hard. It can be excruciatingly hard. So just know that I get it. I get you. And I want to make sure that you see that even in the toughest times, even in the hardest things that are going on, you can find moments of joy. You can have moments where that ridiculous song that we play at the beginning cheers you up. You can have moments where your own people cheer you up. Just being around you makes me be in a better place. So I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. Love spending time with Jamie. Yes, loving these strategies, already seeing results. Let's see here. Yeah, Meta verified. Those of you that are Meta verified, you can't change the photo. I'm in the same place. Have you seen my personal profile photo? It needs, oh my gosh, it's so bad. It needs to change, but you got to go through this rigmarole with Meta, and it's a whole thing. So if that's you and you're Meta verified and that was the reason you couldn't do day 1 homework, don't worry about that piece. I'm going to give you credit anyway. Just let me know. Okay. Okay, so a question here about, I posted in my group, I had 2 requests. They did not answer my questions. What's going on? Okay, so several things. I see that happen a lot. So what you got to judge is this person somebody you know from your personal profile? Like maybe you've connected and interacted and you know them a little bit. I usually just let them in and be like, I invited you. I wanted you to come to the group. Just come on in. Like, just come on in. I usually don't make people jump through a whole lot of hoops to get in when I was the one inviting them to come join. Okay. The other thing that I will tell you is that I have seen a lot more people not answering questions. And so the only thing that I can come up with is it's a Facebook thing. And I know I have experienced it where I join a group, I get my questions, I answer the questions, and then it says answer the questions. And I'm like, I just freaking did answer the questions. Why didn't you keep the answers? And that frustrates me. And it's a weird Facebook thing. So I can only guess that if that's happening for me, it's happening for other people. So every time that Facebook starts messing with stuff, like I think of it like the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. Remember the cat and like deja vu? Well, what is it? The same cat or the different cat? And it's deja vu, and then all crazy chaotic ensues after that. It's kind of like Facebook. When they make a change in the grid, in the system, in the matrix, it gets wonky for a bit, and it can be weeks that it's wonky, and then it sort of settles back down. So I'm hopeful that that's what's going on. Okay. Heather closed her group and because there was no engagement, and she's revived it. Way to go, Heather. Awesome. Okay. Oh, you guys are so great. Thank you. I appreciate all the wonderful comments and everybody that's reached out. Like, you're awesome. I'm so grateful. Okay. Laura loves the intro. I do too. Changed my cover. Okay. So you guys are getting good results. You're doing the work. You're getting results. So let's take a minute and celebrate. I meant to have a list of everybody who completed yesterday's homework, and I forgot to do it. So we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to celebrate everybody. So just like yesterday, how about we drop some applause, some horns, some whatever party, and let's just celebrate everybody who did something yesterday. Even if all you did yesterday was show up to the live or watch the replay, that is still progress. And everything that you do this week, today's the last day to do stuff, earns you a prize or earns you a spot on the prize wheel. And for those of you that complete all 3 days of homework, not the bonuses, but all 3 days of homework, you're going to get $200 off Ignite. Yay. Okay. So let's draw. Let's spin the dang wheel. Okay. Hold on here. I don't have it up. Hold on. Screen share, wheel of names. Let's get rid of these ads. All right. Let's see who's going to win. I love it. I wish you could hear it spinning, but I don't think you can hear the noise. Can you? Probably not. We'll have to create our own noise. Oh. Yay! Yay, Danny. I better write that down so I don't lose it. So Danny, you will also win. I was going to give away a different prize, but the prize I was going to give away is not going to work for you. So I'm going to give you, just like Denise and Karen yesterday, you're going to get a profile review. So how's that sound? Yay? You excited about that? I hope so. Congratulations, Danny. All right. Because I had a different plan, let's spin one more time. Why not? Why not? Waiting. Oh. Elizabeth! Yay! Elizabeth. All right. Elizabeth, your prize. I better write this down. Your prize, Elizabeth. Unless you want one of those profile reviews. If you're like, no, I want the profile review, you just need to let me know. But here's the prize I was going to give away. I'm going to give you a month free in the Go Live League. How's that sound? So you can come and join us next month. We'll be talking about challenges. You're going to come for free for next month. Woo! Awesome prize. All right. Let me get back here. Stop sharing. Let us continue with our plan here. Okay. You have heard this phrase, borrowing an audience. Have you heard that before? Is this a new term? Give me a sense of whether or not you have heard this or it's a brand new idea. I don't know if Elizabeth is on today, but she's gonna be super excited. I think Danny is on, right? Didn't I see Danny? Yeah, she's on and she's very excited. Yay! Okay. What do you know about this idea or this phrase, borrow an audience? What does it mean? I'm waiting. And I mean, it's either the delay between StreamYard and Facebook that I haven't seen any, or you're all sitting there going, never heard it before. Don't know what it is. Okay, Jackie says new idea. Aaron says, I've heard it before, but I want to learn more about it. Okay. I'm waiting on a couple more because there's more of you on. How many we got on? We got 20 people on. You guys are still congratulating everybody. There's definitely a delay today. What did I say before about Facebook having problems? Yeah, for sure. Oh, Facebook. Although it might not all be Facebook. It could be some of StreamYard. Okay, Danny says, get on someone else's. Sharon says, go live on someone else's group and attract them in. Amanda says, guest speaking. Michelle says, heard of it. Julie says post in groups that you're allowed to post in. Okay. All right. You're almost there. Okay. The idea behind borrowing an audience is to say somebody else has done the work to build an audience. They've got a group, a following. It could be a podcast, it could be an interview show, it could be anything. They have done the work to build that audience. And oftentimes those owners of that audience will extend an invite and say, you can borrow my audience. Okay. The idea behind it means all of the things that you've talked about. You can come in and talk to my audience. And if they're interested in you, then maybe they'll come on over to you. Okay. That's the idea of what borrowing audience is. And really that's going to be the theme today. Okay. So in your workbook, hopefully you got your workbook. Day 3's theme is all about going outside, but underneath that outside, and I should have printed it out. Underneath that, there's something that's where you type in that borrow the audience. Okay. Just for those of you that like to complete the workbook, that's where that goes. Okay. So most of the things that we're going to talk about today are all about borrowing somebody else's audience. And what you're trying to do is give value so that the host of that audience is serving something to their people. But the people who, it's like a magnet, right? The people, where is my magnet? The people who are interested in what you have to share, here's my magnet, will come and follow you. That's the goal. That's how you grow. Okay. What is the benefit to them is you are helping serve value to their audience. And that's what they're trying to do, is keep their audience engaged by bringing in guests. Okay. So you almost had it. So close. Okay. So number 14 in your workbook, we are up to number 14, is public speaking opportunities. Now, this could absolutely be live or virtual, but what I'm talking about here are conferences, summits, and yes, even getting on stage. This is an opportunity for you to share a little bit about what you do, who you are, help somebody in some way in order to get them to come on over to them. So what I want you to think about is, if you could be almost guaranteed a room full of perfect, ideal people for you, ideal clients, perfect group members, what are you going to talk about? The key to these public speaking opportunities is to make sure that your message is on point, that you are telling stories, that you are sharing value, that is your first impression, because these people, this is a cold audience. They have no idea who you are. So you've got to make sure that it's not just about finding the opportunities to go to these events. It's about making sure that you've got a very compelling speech or talk. Okay. Now, those of you that are like, get on stage, no way. I hear you. If that is something that you want to work on, I used to do that. That used to be what my whole life was prior to doing this. So we should talk if that's of interest. But it really is about making sure that you get your message right. Okay. What else was I going to say about this one? Hold on here. How do you find these opportunities? This is going to be a consistent theme today. How do you find these opportunities? So I'm going to give it to you now. Just know you're going to do a lot of ditto as we go through these different strategies and tactics. Okay. So one of the best places that you can to find these opportunities is you're already being invited to a lot of these places. You are hearing about conferences and summits that people are doing. And so if you're going as a participant, this is a cool opportunity to reach out to the host of that summit and say, hey, I love this. If you do it again, I want to be a speaker. How do I get on your list? How do I apply? How do I be considered with that? It takes a little bit of guts, because you got to be the one that drives it. But you got to realize that host, they may not know who you are. They might not know what value you give. So you've got to identify those. You can ask your friends, colleagues, people in your group, in your community, who's doing these kinds of things. Anybody know of a summit happening this year? How do I get myself invited? Okay. What you want to watch out for is making sure that the people that are being gathered in that summit or conference, that it makes sense that those could be your ideal people. If they're not, then it may be a mismatch. So be careful of that. Okay. Now, number 15. Host your own. Do your own. Create your own summit. And if it's not a full summit, it could be just an interview show where you bring guests in. So you can often start small and get bigger. Here's the big key that you got to think about is how do you benefit in this situation? Okay. You have assembled the audience and now you're inviting other people to borrow your audience. Are you cool with that? Because oftentimes you don't get the big benefit here other than giving value to your people. But oftentimes what you do get is email addresses, right? So if you create your own assembly or your own interview show or whatever you want to do here, then what you want to make sure that you're doing is having your guests, whoever's going to be speaking at, they need to invite their own audience to that show. Otherwise, it's off kilter. You're giving everything and you're not getting anything back. So make sure that as you're setting this up, there's a reciprocation that happens there. Okay. Now I want to tell you this, hosting your own summit is a big it's a big effort. I get asked all the time if I will do one. And at some point I will do one, but right now it's so much work. I just can't tackle it right now. So we will do one at some point, I promise. But I want to make sure that if this is something you are like, oh yeah, heck yes, I'm checking this off on the box, we're going to do this. Make sure you recognize that this takes some work and some planning. So the tactic around this is make sure you're learning how to do this. There are all sorts of courses, programs, coaches that have done this that will teach you. Yes, they cost money, but they're out there. The other thing that you can do is study what other people are doing. So if you've never been to a conference, if you've never been to a summit, I would suggest you start there. See what happens. Watch it from a different viewpoint. Watch it from the viewpoint of what is all going on? What is this host? What are all the parts and pieces that they're doing so that you can emulate it when you do your own? Okay, so I'm curious to know, is anybody out there like, heck yes, I want to do this? Or are you like, maybe not this one? Let me know. I'm gonna check and look at the comments here and see. Okay. I do this. I want help with the message. Speaking is my love. I love it. All right, Jackie, I would love to help you with this. Carol says it is a lot of work. You are right. Yes. I have several friends who have done summits and they have said, never again, never again. I will never do it again. So take that for what it's worth. Okay. And basically they say no, because it's a lot of work and they don't get enough value out of it. Because even though you get those email lists, you get a lot of unsubscribes because they're only there for the summit. And then when you continue to email them, they're like, no, I signed up for the summit, not all of your stuff. So it's risky. It is risky. I love the extremes of this. I don't know if you can see this in the comments. I don't know. It's probably going to be messy, but one right after the other. This Heather says, heck yes. Laura says, hell no. That makes me laugh. I've been thinking about doing a summit. Someday I will host a summit. Here's a lot of some days, not for a while, but okay. So do it with a partner. Something to consider. Share that workload. Have a co-host so that you can divide and conquer. Just saying, just an idea. More interested in speaking at versus hosting. Yep, totally get that. Want to learn more? Excellent. Okay, so next one. Where's my list here? Number 16. We're gonna go a little bit smaller scale. So for those of you that are like, oh, it's too big. That's too much. That's too. I need smaller. Okay. Number 16 is be a guest on a podcast, on an interview show. There are even opportunities to be a guest blog writer. So for those of you yesterday that were like, oh, maybe I want to do a blog, but I don't have a website, I don't have technology to do the blog, be a guest blogger. It's a real thing. Okay. So the idea here is you are borrowing that audience, but in a teeny tiny little bit, right? So the question then becomes, how do I find these opportunities? Even these small ones, right? The tactic that you're going to want to employ is find ones that you like and reach out to the host. There are podcasts that you're listening to. There are interview shows that you're seeing inside of other groups. There are blogs that you are reading. Reach out to the owner and say, hey, I want to be a guest on your show. I want to come on your podcast. How do I get to be considered? And there is usually a consideration because they're not just wanting anybody come in, right? There has to be this reciprocal nature of it, right? What are you bringing to the table? And what am I going to get? It has to be matched, right? So you got to consider that. Now, where do you find these? Same way as we've been talking about. Remember I said there's going to be some dittoing. This is the ditto, right? But There are also groups out there, Facebook groups, that are all about finding guests for shows, podcasts, blogs, speaking engagements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you just go to Facebook and you use the search tool and you click it to groups, you're going to find them. Now, I will tell you, having been in many of these groups myself, a lot of it is people wanting the same thing you do. I want to speak. I want to speak. I want to be a guest. I want to be a guest. And that far outweighs the people who are saying looking for a guest, but they are there. They are there. So that's a really cool opportunity. Okay. Okay. What else was I going to say on this matter? Oh, a caution. Okay. Oftentimes owners of groups will say, you can go live in my group. I do this, right? I used to do an interview show, way too much work, not worth the return on investment from my perspective. I will do them occasionally. I actually charge for them now because I need to have that return on investment. But I let you all go live in this community every Wednesday, right? Because I want the engagement, I want the value, and I want you to have the ability to practice what you are learning inside this group. Okay. But here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are not active in that group, nobody's going to see your video. So if you've noticed, if you look and you say, yesterday was Wednesday, so we had a bunch of people go live. If you go back and look at them, you're going to see some of them that got a whole bunch of comments and others that got no comments. Like, what gives? What's going on? It depends on your activity level. So if you have an opportunity to go live in somebody else's group, at least a week prior, you need to be super active in that community. Every day you need to go in there and comment and do something in order for that live to be seen by those people. That's just how the algorithm works. Okay. I went into, not all that long ago, I went into, somebody else said, come and go live in my group. Just go live. It's fine. Just go live in my group. I was like, awesome. I mean, you guys, you're a part of this Get on Camera group. So you see what kind of engagement, how many people show up, how many plays I get on my lives. So it's a pretty good number. I go live in somebody else's group that I haven't been active in, goose egg. Same content. I'm doing all the same things, goose egg. It's because I wasn't active in that community first. So I call out for you there. Okay. Let me see if you got any questions around this stuff. I love doing podcasts. I love doing podcasts. I do podcasts. Ooh, I want a partner. Love this. Look at you guys. You're going to love this next one coming up here then. Okay, let's see here. I'm a guest on 2 shows next week. Awesome, Debbie. That's awesome. Okay. Or next month. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there are also websites that do this. Cindy says podmatch.com is an option. And sometimes they charge for this. So I'm just calling out there. I don't know if podcast does, but there you go. Okay. You ready for the next one? Ready? Okay. Oh, by the way, total tangent, but a good tangent. I think I've talked before, we're going to do challenges in the Go Live League in September and October. In November, we're going to talk about interview shows. So if you're going to join us for the challenge and just stay for September and October, you might want to stay for one more month if you want to learn more about being a guest and how you make that, how you maximize that opportunity. And if you're going to have guests, how do you make sure that it's mutually beneficial? So that's what we're going to cover in November in the Go Live League. So just saying. Okay, number 17. That's my drum roll. I didn't make a noise though. Look for collaborations and partnerships. Collaborations and partnerships. While you're already in this mode of talking to people and connecting with people and getting on podcasts and doing interview shows and all of those things, look for opportunities to take that relationship with that host and say, is there something more here? Okay. Another place that you could think about, the tactic here is to really just open up your mind and say, who is it that I could partner with? I saw in some of the comments, some of you have said, I'm working with so-and-so on this, and I'm working with so-and-so. Those are collaboration and partnerships. And what happens in those situations is you are sharing each other's audiences. You're borrowing one another's audiences. Man, those are great. What you want to look for in a partner is one that has the same ideal client base that you have, but you two do 2 separate things. Maybe they augment one another. Maybe there's some sort of connection in there. But what you really want to make sure that you're looking at here is that it is a mutually beneficial proposition. Okay, I had somebody once book a session with me and they said, I want to get on Mel Robbins' podcast. And I was like, great, but why does Mel Robbins want you on their podcast? What kind of audience are you bringing to the table that's going to benefit Mel Robbins? Oh, yeah. Okay. I've had people ask me and say, I really want a collaboration partner, but the people I want a collaboration partner with are way high leveler than me. And I just don't know that they're going to want to partner with me. They probably won't, right? That's more of a mentorship than it is a partnership. So you're looking for somebody that's maybe even to where you are in their business, maybe slightly elevated, but needs what you do so that that relationship on both sides is beneficial. Okay. Let me know if you got questions on partnerships and collabs. I know some of you love partnering and collabs. I can name a few of you that I know how much you love this. So you be the inspiration for everybody else. If you got tips or suggestions or ideas on how to do this, drop them in the comments so we can all benefit. Okay. I don't see anything else. All right. Next one. Number 18. Are you going to networking events? Networking events are an amazing opportunity to connect with people, to invite people to your group, to connect, to do podcasts and interview shows and trading services, trading referrals. If you're not regularly going to networking events, this is one you're going to want to put on your list. Okay. I will say this though, most networking events do give you an opportunity to pitch. And there is some of you might be like, oh yeah, that's the reason I don't go to networking events. So if this is a struggle for you, this is an area that we have spent some time on in the Go Live League. So there is a masterclass that's already out there that you can access. That's 45-second elevator pitches. I can't remember if it's January, February. We are going to do 2-minute elevator pitches. So it's coming if this is a skill that you need a little bit of work on. Okay. So my question for you is this: where are you currently networking? Here's what's going to be super exciting. You know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait because we're going to get to there and I don't want to spoil the fun. I got a little thing for y'all. So just know it's coming. Where are you networking? Where do you find networking opportunities? Where do they exist? Same thing. Remember I said I was going to say ditto a number of times. This is another ditto. Ask your friends, ask your followers, do a post in your group, do a post on your profile. Who's got networking events? You will find them if you ask for them. People got them, people do them, people participate in them, and they're always looking to bring other guests. You can find free networking events. You can find paid networking events. It's all over the place. Okay. So your tactic here is find an event and start showing up. Be consistent. Be consistent. And here's what I will say. I want to give you this call out. If it's not serving you, if you're not getting benefits from it, then maybe it's just not the networking event for you. Try another one. Try someone else. I used to be part of an organization where we did this all the time. I was actually a host. I loved it. And I ended up having to walk away from it. And so I went on this journey of trying to find my next place where I wanted to be. I think I went through 5 or 6 of them and I was like, nope. Okay. So they are out there, but don't be afraid. If it's like, these are not my people. I remember I'm not going to say names, but I went to a networking event and like within the first 20 minutes, I was like, these are not my people. This is not me. This is not what I want. So try it, but recognize you got to go through some trial and error to find the one that works for you. And maybe you need more than one. Okay. Just saying. All right. Let's see what else you got. Hold on. There's some stuff coming in here. I just want to make sure I don't miss questions. Love networking events. I'm about to host my first one. Awesome. I used to host a networking event. Many of you came to them. That's the other thing I will call out. Hosting a networking event, often you got to just look at what is your reward from this? How do you benefit from this? Just consider that. That's all I'm saying. I also would say for those of you, especially if you are an introvert, you got to check your energy levels. It's a lot of putting out energy. So be careful there. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful. Okay. Laura says online networking events. That's what I'm talking about. Online networking events. There are local networking events too that can be super fun, but there are lots of online networking events. Okay. Cindy says, I've been to a few. Not for me. Yep. So you got to just walk away from it. Okay. Next one. Number 19. I don't even know if you know this exists, but there are directories and lists that people create that you can get on as a resource. Now, a lot of them are going to be inside of Facebook groups. So the owner of the Facebook group has a directory that they have in their files, or they give it to new members. And usually there's a list portion, and then you can also charge to have like ads in your list so that it stands out more than just a list. So look for those opportunities as you are joining different Facebook groups. This is especially relevant in entrepreneur groups, I will tell you, that have tens of thousands of members. They will often do some sort of list or directory. So in the groups that you are in, check it out. Go to the files, reach out to an admin, see if they have a list or directory. How do you get on it? Those opportunities exist. And if every new member is getting a copy of this list, oh my gosh, what a great way to borrow an audience. See how this all works together? Okay. So you got to find them, you got to dig them out, and then you got to get joining them. Okay. Okay. Now is the point where I'm going to release my big news, which is I'm going to create a directory for my group that you can all be part of. How exciting is that? But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go beyond just a list. The list is, this is who I am and what my group is and who I target. So that's the list. But we're going to have multiple tabs on this spreadsheet where we're going to share podcasts that we like, networking events that we like, groups that we like to be part of. And so you will all be able to contribute in any which way that you want. So I'm super excited about it. And you all get to be the first to start to share and participate. Okay. So how about that? Yay. That was a little wiggle dance. All right. We are down to the very last one. Okay, Cindy, here's what I was saying. I just saw Cindy's note of I missed the first few. Today's email, in every email that I send out, assuming you're all registered for the challenge, you are going to get the replay, and I write out, you can copy and paste all those things. So you'll get that as soon as I get it written up. Okay, you guys are excited about my directory list. Yeah, I'm excited too. One more thing on my to-do list, but I'm going to figure out, it's going to be a Google Doc or a Google form so that we try to automate some of this and it's not crazy wild. So here's what I'm going to say right now, though. Since we talked about, where was it? Collaborations and partnerships. If there's anybody out there that says, ooh, that would be so fun, I'll partner with Jamie and help put this together, reach out. The more the merrier, right? Okay. Okay. How many different Facebook groups are you part of? This is not a shaming thing. This is not a judgment thing. I just flipped my pen cap. How many different Facebook groups are you a member in? Drop some numbers. And you can just estimate. You don't have to go look. But like, are you in 5 or 10? Are you in like 100? Are you in like 700? How many different Facebook groups do you think that you were a member in? By the way, total tangent here. You should regularly clean those up. If there are groups that you are no longer interested in, no longer add value, do that admin a favor and leave that group. It just helps. It just helps their algorithm. I try to do this. I'd like to say I do it once a month, but it's probably once a quarter. I go through and I just clean them out. So just saying. How many different groups? Look at these are too many. I hear you, Debbie. Too many, far too many, way too many. Okay, this one's interesting. Heather says 100, but I rarely see the posts. Yep, that's the algorithm at play, right? If you're not active, you're going to stop seeing their stuff. I cleaned some up, 70, 50. Those are small numbers, 50. There's like several of you that are in 50. Good for you. I am way higher than that. Close to 100. I'm way over that. Okay, all right. Now, second question. How many are you active in? That is number 20. Be active in other Facebook groups. And I'm going to give you some tactics here. And we are absolutely going to talk about promo posts. So this one right here. This number 20 is the one you have all been waiting for. That's why it's last on the list here, which is, this is where I get the most amount of audience coming in to my group is from being active in other Facebook groups. Being active in other Facebook groups and taking advantage of promo posts. So we're going to talk about both here in a second. The first tactic that I want to introduce you to is something called the 3x3. And I learned this from Rachel Miller. What she teaches is that you can really only be active in about 3 groups at a time. Anything more than that, you're not really being active. So what she teaches is you're going to be active in 3 groups for 3 weeks. So write out the 3 groups, put it on a Post-it note. Y'all know how much I like Post-it notes. Put it on your computer, and every day go into those 3 groups regularly. Comment. If you can posts, it all depends on what the rules are here, right? And then at the end of 3 weeks, assess. Did that group serve you? Did you like being in it? Was there good value there? Did you get people that came on over? If not, move on to the next one. Now, it doesn't just have to be about borrowing that audience. It could be, does it feed your soul? Did you get some value from it? And you want to keep going after it. Okay. So what happens is, if you're focusing on this 3 by 3, maybe I focus on these 3 for these 3 weeks, and these 2 got to go. And so now I can try 2 others, and I can try it for 3 weeks. You're constantly adding and subtracting, but you are focused on 3 for 3 weeks. It's a pretty good system. I continue to use it to this day, and it works. I'm constantly rotating through those. So for those of you that are like, I'm in 100 groups, but I'm not seeing anything, this 3 by 3 would work for you. And so for you, I would say 3 by 3, every 3 weeks, switch all 3 groups and continue to be active in other groups. It's going to help you realize which ones you need to go. It's going to change what you are seeing in your feed. Okay. All right. Okay. Some of you are active in, you've said 5, 7, 15, 10, 5 super active, 10 so active. Karen says, I'm active in 20 to 25. Holy cow. Active? How do you have time for anything else? Let's define this. Okay, let's define this. Active means, are you going into that group every single day? Or at least 3 or 4 times a week? That's active. And are you really genuinely participating, or are you just dropping promo post copy? There's a difference. So something to consider for all of y'all, okay? When I'm talking about active, I'm not talking about just commenting on promo posts. I'm talking about commenting on other posts inside that group, maybe even posting your own. That is what's going to level you up in terms of activity in that group, not just dropping comments in promo posts. Okay. 7. Okay. 3. Everybody likes the 3 by 3. Oh, Karen's a moderator. Well, that makes a whole lot more sense. That was the tidbit I was missing. That makes so much more sense. Okay. All right. So the other thing that you want to do inside of these groups is you want to take advantage of promo posts. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. For those of you that may be new to this whole idea, a promo post is something like, hold on here. Hopefully I can find one quickly here. Okay, hold on. Normally I can get to it faster than this, but my computer's not wanting to work. Okay. Look at how much I'm having to scroll to find a promo post. That doesn't usually happen. By the way, on your computer, your desktop computer, you can actually go into groups, and then it will filter out and you'll only see group content. It's a way faster way to get to all those promo posts. I'm just telling you. Okay. Okay, here's one. So it's color block usually, and it says something like promote your business, right? And this one has 33 people have commented. I have seen them in the hundreds of people that have commented. Okay. It is an opportunity for you to promote your business. Now, I did a whole training on how that whole concept of promo posts is starting to shift and change. So if you missed that and you are curious, let me know. I explained what's happening is there's this belief out here that Facebook is taking it away, or there's going to be a penalty. That's not entirely precisely right. There is some mindset shifts that have to be made. So if that's of interest, if you haven't seen that video, let's see here. What do I want to type? I want you to type, just type promo post. And I'll make a note because I'll forget what that means. And I will send you the link to that video. Okay. If I don't write it down, you know I'm going to lose it. Promo post. This is the explain the algorithm. Okay. Okay. So there are still plenty of these opportunities. This is what I take advantage of. This is how I'm getting hundreds of people signed up for my challenges. It is just doing promo post copy. Okay. So the question that I have for you is, how many of you have done this and gotten 0 results? Have you commented on promo posts like that and you're like, I'm not getting anything. Why am I doing this activity? What is happening? Why is this work? What am I doing here? I'm guessing I'm going to get some yeses. Here is the key. I'm about to give you the secret. You ready for the secret? The secret is you have got to stand out and be different than what everybody else is doing. And I notice this even in my own promo post. So every Wednesday and Friday, there's a promo post opportunity in the Get on Camera group for you to drop. And what I'm seeing in there, y'all need to listen here. Because if you are just dropping text, it's not grabbing people's attention. You got to recognize that the people who are going in there are in there to promote. They're not shopping. They're not buying. They are dropping, selling. So what you got to do is you have to really work hard to get their attention. And I'm going to give you a little model. This is actually on, I don't know what page it is of your workbook. I think it's 5 or 6, somewhere in there. For those of you that have worked with me and done the Go Live Challenge before, this is going to seem very similar, but we're going to apply it in a different way. You've heard me talk about hook, story, call to action. You are going to do the same thing with these promo post copies. In fact, this whole idea of hook, story, call to action is really good, not only for videos, but your content. Okay, so what I want you to think about here is you actually have 2 hooks. Hook number 1 is the attachment that you put with that bit of copy. It is the photo or the GIF that you include with your copy. It is not a graphic, and you do not let the auto preview pull your banner in. That's not going to get it done. Okay, you've got to make sure that whatever visual you are sharing with your copy grabs people's attention. That's the whole point of the hook. That's how you stand out. Okay. Hook number 2 is you ask a question. It's the first line of your text in a promo post. What you're trying to do with that question is you are trying to get people's attention and make them see that you understand the problem they are having. Okay? Your question here is the problem they are having. Here's what's going to happen. Just like a magnet, that question's going to attract and repel, right? So I see the graphic and I'm curious and I think, oh my gosh, what a fun picture. What a fun GIF. What's going on? I read the first sentence and I go, I'm either in or I'm out. This is either for me or it's not. That's what you're trying to achieve with that. Okay. You're going to try to ask a question that is about the problem they have. Now, the story. The story is what resource do you have that helps them solve that problem? And since we're talking about Facebook groups, guess what your solution is? It's your Facebook group. Okay. Now, remember, we talked about this. I don't remember when it was, which day it was. People don't want to just join another group. They want the thing that's happening in the group. So your story inside of hook, story, call to action is what is happening that they want to come and join that solves the problem of the question you just asked. And then your call to action is join my group. Here's the link. Okay. So that's how you apply that. I have a whole masterclass on writing promo post copy. So if you've not attended that, if you want a copy of it, see, now I'm going to get all, see what I've done here? I've put myself in a corner because earlier I said type promo post if you want the training on the algorithm changes. And now I'm going to say, if you want that masterclass, how am I going to do this? I know, let's do PP because that's just funny. PP masterclass, and then I'll get you the link to the masterclass. For those of you that are VIPs, this is what we're going to work on. In case you missed my communication, we're not going to do the VIP session today. We're going to do the VIP session next week to allow you some time to play with this. Okay. Your homework, all of y'all, VIP or not, is to write new promo post copy for yourself using this format that I just gave you. Find a new graphic, find a new photo, find a new GIF. You're going to share all of that. Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of extra time. Might not be able to get that done today, but maybe get it done over the weekend if you need it. Okay. You're still going to earn your $200 off if you need it. Okay. Okay. VIPs, bring this exercise, whatever you do, to next week's call. I'm going to help you switch it up and change it if it needs to be. If it's not working for you, I'll give you some feedback. We'll adjust it. We'll tweak it, whatever else. Okay. If anybody else wants to join us for VIP next week, let me know and I'll get you the link and we'll get you signed up. Okay. Let me see if you got any questions on this and then we'll wrap us up. Okay. Hang on. Oh, I got completely out of my group. Hold on a second. Boop. Boop. PP Masterclass. That just makes me giggle. And I made you all type PP Masterclass. You are welcome. I hope that made you giggle as you typed it because it's just funny. Okay. What is VIP? VIP was this week. Every day we did a live, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. VIP's got an hour Zoom call after each session to go deeper. So if you join VIP at this point, you would still get those recordings, and then you could join us next week for the last session that we're having, which is where we're going to do open Q&A on anything, and then we're going to work on that promo plus copy. Okay. All right. I don't see any questions. So here's my question for you. Have you received value inside this Grow Your Group Challenge? Did you get something out of these 3 days? Did you learn at least something that was worth the price of admission, which was free? Did you get value out of this 3 days with me? And I know I asked yesterday morning and this morning I had posts that said, what is your key takeaway? Did you learn anything today that makes you change your mind on what was your key takeaway? There will be a post tomorrow so that you can share it. But I would love to know, even in the comments, what has been your mind-blowing, like, biggest thing that you've learned this week? This just helps me recognize the value in doing this and honestly decide whether I'm going to do it again. I will also be putting together a little bit of a survey for those of you that are interested in giving me some feedback so that I can make changes to make this better each and every time. I'm a big believer in continuous improvement, and I try to strive for that. So I would love to have your feedback. Okay. But here's what I want to say. If you have received value and you want more value, you want to continue this learning, this experience, I want to invite you to join me for Ignite Your Facebook group. So we've just focused the last 3 days on growing your group. And if you remember this guy, right, there are 6 different key strategies to igniting your Facebook group. So remember, we were talking about the embers are just like little and they're just smoking and all of that. How do you get that whole system churning and burning and become the bonfire that is going to change your business, right? Ignite Your Facebook group is that program. So when you complete this challenge, and that means you do the homework all 3 days, you are going to earn $200 off to join me for Ignite. We are going to start the middle of September. We have not picked a day or time. We're looking at some options. So if that makes a difference to you, message me and I'll let you know what options we're considering. What I try to do is, like, the first 5 or 6 people that join get to have input, and then we pick the date, and then I communicate to everybody who hasn't yet signed up what the date is. So if you want to have influence on that, sooner the better here. Sooner the better. Okay. So Ignite is $597 with that $200 off. If you need payment plans, I can do that. The landing page itself that I will send out to all of you just shows, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 months. I think it's a 4-month payment plan, but I have done longer payment plans for people who need it. So if you need to get that price point down to be able to afford it, reach out. I likely have a link. I think the longest I've done is 12 months. So I will extend that to you if that's something you need. Okay. I will tell you this. There are some extra things that we haven't talked about in Ignite. Obviously, we cover all 6 of these strategies in depth, just like we've done this week. But it's more like the VIP sessions where I am giving you feedback. I'm helping you. I'm answering questions. I'm giving you tricks and tips and templates and all of those great things. That's what Ignite is all about. It's 12 weeks, and we go through all 6 of these. You will also get, as part of Ignite, you will get a custom GPT. It's called the Social Media Specialist. It's my own app inside of ChatGPT that helps you with your content. And I have had many people tell me that that alone was worth the price of admission. It is a game changer in making all of your social media so much easier. You will also get a 6-video course for free that's going to help you figure out how do you go live, how do you model and structure and plan your lives. So you get that for free as well. I could go on, but I'm going to stop, because if you've got questions, if you're not already intrigued or interested, you've already made your decision. If you are, I'll get you the link. Let me know. Type the word Ignite in the comments and I'll make sure that you have it. So there's a video and you can read all this stuff. You can decide whether it's right for you. I just want to share this one piece. I had somebody, I think it was not this cohort, but the previous cohort. She reached out and she said, I was going to join you in the spring and I didn't. I didn't join because I felt like I had enough, that I could do this. I had this list. I had the assessment. I had the things that I have learned so far. And I thought, I can do this myself. And she said, I'm in the same place I was 6 months ago. It's not moving forward. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't join Ignite. I don't want that for you. So if you want help turning your Facebook group into something that helps you grow your business, that is engaging, that people are commenting, that you are getting people that are showing up to your lives, that they are interested in your programs and offers and all of that all melding perfectly well, that's what Ignite is all about. Okay? So, all right, enough on that. I want to wrap us up today and talk about where you go from here. Okay? I didn't see any questions. So if I've missed questions, let me know and I'll come back to them in the comments if I missed questions. Okay. Review on your homework. So your homework today is to rewrite your promo post copy using the formula that I gave you today. That's your homework. It'll be posted here in a little bit. Today, or actually all week, all 3 days. Why is this guy still on? You have learned 20 different ways to grow your group. And if at the beginning I said to you, don't try to do them all. Don't try to do all 20. Pick the ones that serve you best. The most important thing that I want to compel you to do right now is to take action. Start doing these things. Start getting yourself into a consistent habit around them. These things, those 6 different gears, I call them strategies for a reason. You have to have a plan and a strategy around it. Winging it is not going to get it done. And only focusing on one gear instead of focusing on all 6 gears is going to be a challenge for you. It's not going to turn the whole machine. Okay. I said earlier, I think this was on Tuesday, I don't promise overnight success because I don't believe it's real. I can't sit here and say to you, if you take Ignite, within 12 weeks, you'll be making $1 million. I don't like those claims because there's so many different variables. And I don't like the whole, you can do it easy peasy, you don't have to do any work. You have to put some work in. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. You've got to put in some time and effort. It will get easier. It does get easier. But it does take the hard work. Okay? So take action. Don't lose sight of the fact that you need all 6 of those gears turning in order to make progress. Okay? Now, next week in this Get on Camera group, next Thursday, this will be at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. So for those of you that are new to my group, every Thursday I go live at 12 o'clock Mountain Time and we cover a different topic. Next week's topic is going to be on that Facebook group assessment. So I'm going to help you interpret the results. I'm going to answer questions that may come up from that. And I'm going to help you sort of start to put together, how do I create my own strategy and optimize what I'm doing? So just know that that's coming next Thursday. Okay. Thursdays at 12 Mountain Time. Okay. Last thing I want to say here is, remember that ember, that glowy thing at the bottom of your group? It is time to turn that into the raging fire that it can become. You absolutely can have a community that is thriving and engaged. I know this because this group, this Get on Camera group, was dead. And I had all the excuses. I promise you I had all the excuses. I thought it was my niche. I thought I had all the wrong people. I thought I had all these things. It was not any of those things. It was on me. It was me needing the strategies and the tactics to understand how to move it forward, how to turn it from those embers, those dying embers, into a raging bonfire. And I am so proud of this community. And I am so grateful to each and every one of you that helped me make that a reality. And I want to make sure that you are all seeing this as an opportunity to have this for yourself. It doesn't matter what your niche is. It's about figuring out, how do you communicate to that niche, in that niche, in a way that people can understand and gravitate to. That's what it's all about. Okay. So I just want to thank you all in closing for being part of this Grow Your Group Challenge. It has been an honor. I've had so much fun. I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.